What's happening? So, people know what's happening on YouTube because people know I love movies and I get asked periodically about different film directors. And if I like your work, there's at least five movies of yours that I can pick. And today's person that I'm picking is Brian De Palma. And my five favorite movies of Brian De Palma are Carrie, Scarface, The Untouchables, Carlito's Way, Mission Impossible, and then Honorable the Casualties of War. So that's one, two, three, four, five, six. I think I will stop. I think I go with Mission Impossible or Casualties of War, but it's close. Carrie was probably the first movie of his, and I remember Amy Irvin and that whole graveyard scene, and Sissy Spacek played that role. That movie was intense. Remember John Travolta was fresh face in that, and Heat Wave by Martha Reason Van Dale's that whole thing, and they were all going to laugh at you and all that. What a sinister, creepy movie that still holds. You can watch it Halloween. You can watch it anytime. That is one of the coolest, creepiest movies I've ever seen. It's one of those movies I never get tired of watching. It is almost 50 years old, and it still holds up. That's the mark of great filmmaking. In a pre-context, but in a modern sense, it is still the business. So that's a great movie. Of course, we get to Scarface, and it was like hip-hop before hip-hop. It was the streets before the streets. There was a few things. There was something about wearing a white suit on a cover that it hit in the neighborhood. Be it John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever, be it Michael Jackson on the Thriller album cover, or be it Al Pacino or Scarface on this cover of Scarface. It something about that, and it represented like a styling. But the movie sold American greed at its ultimate, at its finest, to come over to dream, to come over to do things, the underdog to take over. You can have it if you play this game. Powerful movie, which influenced a lot of people, for better or for worse and in between, but it was a way of life. A lot of character in that movie. Al Pacino, Michelle Pfeiffer were incredible in there. One of the movies you don't soon forget, and it left a lasting impression. Didn't do so much at the box office at the time, but when you talk about what people look at, it, it's not how it starts, how it finishes. It grew a legacy, and it got even bigger in the streets. It had street appeal. We get to The Untouchables. This was the start of Kevin Costner's run. Sean Connery was in it. I want to say Andy Garcia was in it. This is where Kevin Costner really hit, and Robert De Niro was in it, playing Al Capone. It was like a throwback, but in modern. It was kind of in different places, but it worked though. It's also one of those kind of movies that I like, but I didn't. I liked it. I like the what I want to say the intellectual aspects of it, the way it was filmed. That's what really moved me with the film. And it did. It was a grower, and I do think it's been underappreciated. I think it was a really